Good afternoon, my friends. My name is Kate. We have an hour of barre together. I have 5-pound weights right here. You can pick whatever you have on hand. You can always switch weights out as you need. I also have a stool right over here that's really handy to hold on to. If you have a stool or a counter or anything you want to use, great. And then also I sent you a playlist. Now, if you just joined us, you don't have that link, unfortunately. It says new barre. So you're going to pull that up. If you did not get that link because you joined late, go on to Spotify. I'll do it as quick as we can. My name is Kate, and the last name is spelled Jahnke. And you'll type in new space barre, which is actually Barre. And you'll pull that up. We're going to press play at the same time. Mine's usually pretty quiet, but that way if there's any crossover, hopefully it won't get too confusing. So you'll have that up and ready. You have your weights. You have something that you can hold on to for balance. And then you're going to press play here on that first song in 3, 2, and press play. Have a seat. Close your eyes. I want you to notice your breath coming in and out of your nose or your mouth. The rise and fall of your chest. The expansion of your lungs and your ribs. These physical sensations that go along with breath, they're a great tool to help you stay present, to help you stay in each moment as it comes. So when you feel your mind start to wander, or when you start to hear those negative or darker thoughts creeping in as we move, as in, this isn't good enough, or this is too hard, or I can't do it, I want you to pause and close your eyes. You feel the breath. You remember why you're here. This is just where you're supposed to be. And that no matter where you are in your practice, you are growing stronger. And all of those times that negativity or that darkness starts to creep in on you, and you fight back against it by staying present, by staying in your practice, by continuing to try, you're winning. You are growing stronger physically and mentally. And a practice like this is so great for that. Yes, it strengthens your body, but more so, it strengthens your resolve, builds that grit, that determination that is so important. So now bring your palms to face upwards towards the sky. I want you to set an intention for your practice. And of course, let your intention be whatever speaks to you most. But perhaps today it's along those lines of not giving up, of not giving in to that negativity that always happens, that little chatter in the back of our mind. And knowing that you are enough just as you are, showing up to your mat today. So you see your intention clearly in your mind. You let go of all of the air from your lungs. And then you take a deep breath in to fill all the way up. And with a great big open mouth exhale, you send it out into the universe. Good. You can keep your eyes closed or open them, completely up to you. But I want you to engage your core. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Lift it up towards your sternum and pull your ribs in towards each other. Keep that engagement throughout everything that we do. Place your left hand on your right knee. Make a claw with your right hand and push your fingertips behind you into the ground. When you push, you're sitting as tall as you can. Take a breath. Exhale and begin to twist, starting with your lower back. Very slowly, very gently working your way up. Maybe you bring your chin around towards the right shoulder. Perhaps you push into your leg for more twist, or walk your right fingertips further around. Each inhale, you sit a little taller. Each exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. Gently unwind. We'll try it on the other side. Right hand to left knee, claw your left hand and push into your fingertips. Take a breath to sit as tall as you can. Exhale, begin that twist from your lower back. Slowly, gently working your way up. Maybe your chin comes around. Each inhale, you sit taller. Each exhale, you twist deeper, keeping that length from your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head. Very gently unwind. Interlace your fingers and press your palms all the way overhead. Lift your gaze, take a deep breath. Exhale, lean your shoulders back just a tiny little bit. Find a little back bend feeling in your body. Bring your arms up and over to the left. And then over to the right. All right, let's do it. Release your hands, come down into tabletop. Bring your knees under your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Push into the ground, lift out of your shoulders, but keep your elbows a little soft. Inhale, dip your belly, lift your gaze, find a cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, bring it to cat. Inhale, drop your belly, open the front line of your body. Exhale, round and stretch your spine. One more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back to your flat back tabletop. Lean your hips slightly forward to a modified plank. Modification is here on your knees, right? Little bend to your elbows. Pull your chest forward and through into a modified upward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Draw your shoulders back. Exhale to a puppy dog pose. Chest to the floor, hips back, but lifted from your heels. Inhale, come forward. Modified upward facing dog. Exhale, puppy dog, bring it back. One more like that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, draw it back. And back into tabletop. Curl your toes under, lift your hips into a downward facing dog. Give your feet a pedal, roll out your ankles, any movement you like here. And clear all the air out of your lungs. Inhale, stretch your right toes up high. Exhale and bend your knee, open through your hip. And you can stay right here and hold that big stretch, or you could take some big circles with your knee for mobility. Put a little more weight in your right hand to help you balance. Then stretch your right toes up in the air, close off your hip, take a breath. Exhale, low lunge, step between your hands, bring your left knee to the ground. Inhale, kneeling crescent moon. Bring your arms up. Exhale, settle into your hips. Pull back with the right one a little and push forward to feel the stretch in your left thigh. Take a breath. Exhale, find a little back bend, lift your heart. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, bring them down to the inside of your right foot. Toe heel that foot out to a modified runner's lunge where you can stay. You could come to your forearms for more opening of the hip. You can even push that knee away for a little more stretch. Imagine that your inhale could open space in your hip. And bring your hands to the floor if they're not there. Curl your back toes under and lift your knee. Now walk your hands over to the left and open your whole body to that left side. Your right knee is bent, your left leg is long. And walk your hands through the center, come to the back, bend your left knee, lengthen your right leg. And do that a few times, walk from side to side. You're still waking things up in your body, right? So flex your toes as you lengthen. Move in a way that feels really good and beneficial to your body today. All right, then you bring it all the way to the front of your mat again in a low lunge. So pivot forward, hands plant firmly on the ground. Inhale, right toes high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, bend your knee, open through your hip and take some circles here if it feels good. More weight in your left hand. Next breath, stretch your toes high, close your hip. Exhale, lunge, step down, right knee meets the mat. Inhale, kneeling crescent moon, arms high. Exhale to settle in. Really push that right hip forward. Working to square your hips to the front. Feel that great big stretch and opening in the front of your hip and thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find that tiny little back bend. Your heart lifts a little bit higher. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down inside of your foot. Toe heel the foot out. Find your runner's lunge on this side. Then bring your palms to the ground if they're not there. Curl your toes under and lift the right knee. You walk your hands over to the right this time. And I want you to hold the stretch. Pull your left knee back. Try to put your tailbone at the ground and put a little bend to your right knee, just a slight one. Pull your toes towards your shin. Awaken through the back line of your leg. Good. Walk your hands through center to the back. Bend your right knee, lengthen your left leg. Pull your right knee back as far as you can to keep your hips open. Point your tailbone down. Little bend to your left knee. Dig the heel in as you flex your foot. Send all of your breath, all that energy, all that opening into the belly of your hamstring and your calf. All right, walk it forward, back to your lunge. Inhale, stretch your toes high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Give it a pedal. Take a full body inhale and a full body exhale. Good. Inhale, come forward to a high plank. Push into your toes. Heels come over the ball mounds of your feet. You are one long line of energy from the heels through the crown of your head. Take a deep breath. Exhale, down dog. Lift your hips. Inhale, come forward to a high plank. Exhale, downward dog. Those are your movements. Inhales bring you forward. Exhales lift your hips. You're moving with your breath, fast or as slow as you need to go to match them up. So this is yoga barre, right? It's not just simply barre class. So we take those elements of yoga and blend them in with our barre movements. So here, breath and movement connect. Yoga literally means to yoke or to unite. So connecting your breath with the movements that you take brings natural ease and comfort into your body. Inhales open, exhales compress or close. Now come down into your high plank and hold. Wrists under shoulders, lift out of your shoulders. Keep your gaze towards the top edge of your mat. Take a full body inhale. Take a full body exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. So good. You're almost there. It's 4 and 3. Final 2. Lower to your belly all the way down to the floor. Flip to the top sides of your feet and push into them until your kneecaps lift. Palms are underneath your shoulders. Core is firmly engaged. Lift your chest and find a baby cobra. Grip the mat with your palms. Statically pull back so your hands don't move, but your chest draws forward. Maybe you lift an inch higher. Maybe you lift your hands from the mat. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower your chest back down. Here you go. You lift up and you lower. Lift and lower. Keep moving. Push into your feet. Don't let them lift off of the mat. Push into your hip bones and squeeze your glutes. This work is happening in your upper body, your lower back, the muscles along your spine. You wake them up. They're going to work with you throughout every movement that we take. So it's important that you feel them now waking up and you know what they feel like when they're working. Keep pulling your ribs in tightly together. This protects your liver. I love wine. I don't know if you know that about me, but I do. I love wine very much. I worked at a wine bar for many years as a bartender. So it goes beyond just the act of drinking the wine itself, right? I think it's a magical process. Your liver is going to process all of that, right? So you don't want to smush it because you need it to be nice and strong. So keep squeezing your core muscles in tight for 4 and 3. Final 2. And this one you're going to hold your chest up. Try lifting your palms up if they're not already and squeeze your shoulders together. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out and extend your fingertips forward. Now try lifting your feet off of the ground. Point your toes. Get as long as you can from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Keep your gaze slightly down so your neck is in a neutral position. Take a deep breath. Exhale, tap fingers and toes down to the ground. Now lift back up. It's tap and lift and tap and lift. Keep going on your own. You can go faster, you can go slower, but I want you to control this movement, meaning that your knees are not bending or heels coming in towards your seat as you lift. Legs stay nice and long. You're pressing the backside of your knees towards the ceiling. Your toes stay pointed to keep your leg muscles engaged. Keep pulling the crown of your head forward, keeping your neck as long as you can. And yes, keep squeezing those core muscles to protect your liver. You're here for 4, 3, final 2. Now hold it up, hold it up. Find a little swimmer. Little kicks of your feet, little swims with your hands. You got it. Squeeze your glutes. Your entire leg is moving here, and it's coming from within that hip and glute region, not from your knees. These are cute little kicks, but they're not going to do anything for you, right? You got it. Maybe you lift a little bit higher. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it down. Let one ear rest. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. Take a breath. Let it go. Nice work. Palms plant under your shoulders. Toes curl underneath. You push straight up to a high plank. Shoulders over wrists. Push into your toes. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. One more breath in. Exhale. Step forward and through. Have a seat. Sit directly on your sit bones. It sounds obvious, right? But oftentimes we sit behind them and around. I want you straight up in the air. Hands come forward, palms flip up to the sky, shoulders press back, and then lean your shoulders back, staying on that same point of contact on your sit bones. That doesn't change. Navasana, boat pose. Lift your heart, lift your chin a little. Your gaze will be slightly at the ceiling. You can stay as you are. You can lift your shins and make them parallel to the ground, as long as you don't shift where you're sitting on your hips. You could even lengthen your legs or bring your arms overhead to make a V shape with your body if you want. But I want you to pick a spot that is a challenge, but that you can still breathe in. If you're holding your breath in that V shape, that's not great, right? So pick a spot you can breathe, but that's hard. Not hard to breathe, hard to hold. You can use open mouth exhales to help release the extra heat that will build up. Keep your shoulders back. Maybe you lean 1 more inch back. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, if your toes are lifted, tap them to the ground, but just tap, right? No weight there. Bring your hands together, palms connect, thumbs cross, almost like a prayer grip in yoga. Keep your shoulders back, take a deep breath. Exhale, twist it over to the left as far as you can without changing the position of your hips and without rounding your spine. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, twist it to the right. Same thing. Hips and legs are centered. It's just your upper body. Center, twist left, center, twist right. You got it. Inhale as you move through the center, exhale as you twist. Keep compressing your palms as firmly as you can. Watch the knees. Don't let them shift from side to side or twist opposite of your upper body. You got it. Keep your neck nice and long. So when you come through center, your gaze is still slightly up rather than bringing your chin to your chest and compressing. Perfect. So muscles along your spine and your obliques, the sides of your abdomen are really starting to wake up. Perhaps you feel your hip flexors. Good. This is 4, 3, last 2. Do 1 more twist. Come back to the center. Separate your hands, palms face up. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Full body inhale. Exhale, bring your palms behind you. Fingertips face your seat. Elbows squeeze together. Lift your chest. Keep your spine nice and long. Lift your shins. Make them parallel to the floor. Flex your feet. Take a deep breath and kick your heels forward. Come back with your shoulders. Maybe your elbows even tap the ground. And then squeeze everything back to the center, knees in towards your chest. Inhales, open. Exhales, squeeze you close. It's push and pull, push and pull. You got it. You can make that movement smaller. Your heels might only kick out a few inches. Your elbows might be lifted from the floor, and that's okay. Or maybe you come all the way down to tap the floor and your heels hover. You pick that area in your body today where it's a challenge, but you can still breathe, right? Inhales, expand. Exhales, compress. Bring that natural ease into your movement, into your practice. Keep your chin up, keep your neck long. Good. This one is 4, 3, final 2. Can you hold this one out? Point your toes, flutter kick your feet, tiny little kicks here. You got it, pull your belly button towards your spine. You're here for 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes, you can. It's 4, 3, 2, bring it back up. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, step your feet back. You can find that modified upward facing dog again. Give it a quick little stretch. Take a breath. Exhale it out. Good. Come to downward facing dog. Hips back, then high. Give your feet a quick pedal. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Grab your weights, put a bend to your knees, and then slowly come up to stand. At the top, you can give your shoulders a shrug. You can adjust what you need. Then you're going to step your feet really wide. Heels in, toes out. Bring the weights just to your hips for now and bend your knees. Look down, make sure that your toes are up in front of your knees. Your feet are that wide. And then tuck your pelvis, hip bones scoop up and in so that your shoulders are over your hips the entire time. Now stand up by pushing into the ground, like you're pushing it away from you. And then bend your knees. It's like you're sliding your back down a wall. Lift and lower. Push to the top and lower back down. Lift and lower. It's nice and slow. Give a feel for what's going on in your legs today. How do your lower limbs feel? I want you to try closing your eyes in this simple movement and just focus on those lower limbs. How can you make the connection to your mat stronger? You push firmly into your heels, into the outer edges of your feet. Good. Now work your way up your leg. How can you make it more engaged? If you squeeze your thighs towards each other as you stand, do you feel more sensation? When you bend your knees, if you press them just slightly back, how does it feel? Maybe you can get a little lower in your hips because you're creating more space for your pelvis to stay tucked underneath you. All the way down, all the way up, then get down and hold. Tailbone at the floor, chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed. Find a little pulse in your legs. That pulse wakes up your stabilizing muscles, and this is what barre is all about, right? Those tiny little squeezes. Now, you may not know is that those little tiny stabilizers don't get very much oxygen because the bigger muscle groups are taking up a lot of those nutrients coming in and out. So the deeper you breathe, the more likely you are to get some of that oxygen all the way to these littler muscles. So deep breaths in and out throughout everything that you do. Good, now stay low in your hips, take out the pulse. Drop your arms in front of you, palms face your body. This time when you stand up, it's a row. You draw your elbows up to shoulder height, weights come to your shoulders. Push the weights back down as you bend. It's lift and lower. So now, doing that familiar movement with your lower body, you're also waking up the upper body a little more. Pull your elbows back at the top. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you're just waking things up here. It shouldn't feel too hard. If it does, go down with your weights. Here's 4, 3, 2. Do it one more time. Then I want you to get down low. Bend your knees, press them back, scoop out your pelvis. Now, palms start facing your body. Come to that row, but stay low in your hips. Push the weights out in front of you, little bends to your elbows, and then slowly lower down. Lift up, push out, and lower. Lift, push, and lower. Now try to smooth it out. It's almost like you're making a circular shape. Good, stay low in your hips. That is not changing. It is just your arms that move here. So your core has to work really hard to stabilize you as you go. You can always make smaller circles, not bringing them all the way up to your shoulders, if it feels like there's a lot of movement happening in your torso. Shoulders stay over hips. Good, one more, just like that. And then you'll reverse it. The palms face your body, weights are down. Now you lift them up in the air. You pull your elbows back, and then you push the weights down. Lift, pull it in, push it down. Lift them up, pull it in, push it down, and smooth it out. Find that circular motion here. So as you bring them in, the elbows are lifted to shoulder height. They're not drooping. Keep your chin up. Resist the urge to lean forward or let those weights bring you forward. If you are, that's again a sign that either you should go down a set of weights or go without weights altogether, and that's completely fine. Finding this big range within your shoulders really helps to stabilize through the shoulder girdle. Reach the crown of your head, nice and high. You have 3 more, just like this. Last 2. Do it one more time. All right, now weights come down, this time flip them forward. Stand up, lengthen your legs, find a bicep curl. So you bring those weights to your shoulders and then bend your knees and bring them back down. So lift to the top, lower down, you got it. Your legs should feel pretty good here, almost like an active stretch after holding low. Keep your elbows tight at your sides and squeeze your biceps as hard as you can. You are making that work happen because these aren't the heaviest weights you've ever lifted, right? So you're squeezing to the top and you're actively pressing down like you're moving through wet cement. And again, you're just waking these muscles up. So get a feel for them. You have 2 more. All right, and then I want you to get low on your hips again. Stay low. Find 90 degrees in your arms. So it's the midway point of your bicep curl. From here, you take a little circle out. That circle is like the size of a golf ball. It's not big. And your elbows do not leave your sides. They're tucked in tight. In fact, the more you squeeze your upper arm in, the better it gets. Now your shoulders naturally want to round forward here. Draw them back. Good. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. Get a little lower in your hips and now reverse your circle, opposite way. Elbows stay tight at your sides, chin is lifted. Lift through the arches of your feet just a little. You're pressing more weight in that pinky edge side. Strengthen the connection to the ground. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause at the center, take a breath. And exhale, open your arms to the side. Elbows are still tucked in tight. Upper arm does not leave. From right here, find a little pulse up. It's a little squeeze. Think 1 inch up from 90. That's it. Squeeze and squeeze. Make sure your wrists are straight up from your forearms. And I'll come closer so you can see what I mean. When you hold a weight, it's nice and strong here, straight up. It's not dragging your hands back, and you're not curling in to hold it. It's flat. Good. Now pause at 90 degrees. Take a breath. Get 1 inch lower in your hips, and now pulse it just 1 inch below 90 degrees. Gets a little more intense, doesn't it? Collarbones apart, heart is high. Tiny, tiny squeezes. Remember, the deeper you breathe, the more oxygen your muscles are going to get. You got it. Stay low in your hips. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, pause at the middle, take a deep breath. Let it go. Now from here, push those weights out to the side. So arms are coming out, not all the way straight. You still have little bends to your elbows. And now squeeze your elbows behind you, almost like they could touch. They won't, but you're squeezing that hard. Push the weights out and pull them in. Push and pull and push and pull. You got it. Squeeze actively back each and every time. And again, watch your wrists here. This is one that, of course, you can go down weights, you can go without, as long as your wrists stay strong. So, so good. Here's 4, 3, hold them out in 2. This time you're holding the weights up and you just hold and breathe. Full body inhale, full body exhale. Can you push them 1 inch further out? Maybe you lift them 1 inch higher. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Yes, you can. It's 4, 3, final 2. Pull the elbows in, get low in your hips. Now, push up and find a star pose. Weights go overhead. You're making that giant shape in your body. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bend your knees, pull the elbows back in. It's push to star, pull to close. Push and pull and push and pull. You got it. Extend. Squeeze. So, so strong. Make it big for 4, 3, final 2. Do it one more time. All right. Now, These weights, you can hold on to them and bring them to your chest, or you can set them down. It's entirely up to you. Lengthen your legs, pivot your toes in so your feet are parallel. From here, bend your right knee. You're coming into a side lunge or a lateral lunge. I want you to make sure that your right knee lines up with your right toes here, and not that your knee is out or in from it. Push more weight into the pinky edge side of your right foot and really squeeze with the outside of your right thigh. Your tailbone points out a little bit behind you. If you have those weights, your chest is lifting forward. If you don't have those weights, bring your hands together and pull your heart towards your thumbs. Now from right here, stand back up and lower. Push into the ground to lift and come back down. This great big movement to start, just to wake things up. Good. Keep a softness in your left knee just so that you don't hyperextend. You have 2 more. One last time. And then you get down low and you hold it. It's a barre class. You have to pulse it. Of course you do. Find that tiny little squeeze right here, up and down. Lift more in the arch of your right foot. Press more into the outer edge of your hip and glute. Keep that left knee just a little bit soft. Keep your heart lifted. Try to keep as long as you can through your lower back. Squeeze and squeeze. Good. 4, 3, stay low in 2. All right, stay low, stay low. Lift your right heel up. Then tap it back down to the floor. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. So just the heel is lifting up and down. It doesn't need to be very high. It could be just a couple centimeters from the floor. It could be a couple inches. You choose. What I want you to avoid is popping up all the way, and so that your joints are holding you at the very top rather than muscle, if that makes sense. So you'll feel it because all of that weight is in the right leg. If you pop all the way to the top, there's a moment there where it's just joints stacked on joints, and you'll feel a strain in the front of your right foot. That's not ideal. So just below that point would be great. Good. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Set the heel back down. Find that little pulse again. Up and down, up and down. It's not very big. It's really small. It's really controlled. You're not bouncing. You're squeezing. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out, get a little lower, but keep going. You got it. 4, 3, final 2. Full range of motion. Here you go. Bring it down. Lift, down, and lift. And again, it should feel more like an active stretch than anything else now. Great big movements to work out all those little kinks from the slow ones. Just 2 more. Good. All right, come back to the top. Pivot your heels back in. Bend your knees and stand back up. Bend and lift and bend and lift. Perfect. There's only 4, 3, 2. Get down low and hold, get down low and hold. Lift your heels up, then set them down. Heels lift, lower, lift, lower. Again, isolating. Your whole body does not move up and down, just the legs. Lift, lift. Is your pelvis scooped? You know that it is if your chest is up rather than forward. Always lift it. Because you're isolating through your legs, your whole body isn't moving up and down, but your knees will push further out with each movement. Good. You're almost there. 4, 3, final 2. Heels stay lifted. Now find a pulse. Little squeeze. Heels are up. And of course, you can set your heels back down if you need. But really, it could be a centimeter. It could be 3 inches. You pick that lift. You find that squeeze in your glutes to make the lift happen. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Get a little lower. Keep with it. 4, 3, final 2. Nice job. Set the heels down, stand up. Pivot your toes back in. Bend the left knee and come on down and hold that lateral lunge or that side lunge. You're pushing into the pinky edge side of your left foot. Check out the knee and toes. Please make sure that they're in line. That's important for safety. Soften your right knee. You're not hyperextending. It's still engaged. When you get down low, tailbone is out. And from your tailbone through the crown of your head, it's a long line of energy. You're not tipping it all the way forward. It's a slight elevation. Now, push into the edge of your hip and come back to the top. Get down low and lift. Get down low and lift. Good, just waking things up on this side. 3, 2, do it one more time. Then get down low, find the pulse. Tiny little up and down. Remember, you can hold weights at your chest stays forward, or hands together, heart towards your thumbs. You get a pick. Holding weights just makes it harder, that's all. Completely up to you. It's really easy to start bouncing here, right? You don't want your hips moving around. It's a lift and lower through the edge of your leg. Hips are solid. They're not changing the position with the rest of your body, right? Good. Squeeze and squeeze. Find your breath. Maybe even close your eyes for a moment to really feel it. Remember, those sensations that go along with your breath help keep you present. And guess what? The sensations along with your muscles do the exact same thing. Hold it low, lift the heel up, then set it down. Heel lift, lower, lift, and lower. Remember, it can just be a centimeter. I don't want you to pop all the way up. You make muscle do the work rather than straining tendons and ligaments and joints. So when you're feeling these things happen in your body, when your muscles are screaming at you, right? You're here right now. You're not thinking about what's for dinner. You're not thinking about what your dogs are doing in your bedroom right now, if they're on your bed. I know mine definitely are. You're here. You're feeling those things, right? And that's the idea. Use these principles of yoga to help you stay present. You use the challenge that's happening in your body to find your breath, to find peace and calm through a challenge. That's not so your practice is stronger. It's so you're a stronger human being. All right, set the heel down, come back to the pulse. Tiny little squeeze. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Get a little bit lower. Soften your right knee. 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes, you can. It's 4, 3, 2, full range of motion. Get down low and lift. Get down low and lift. Really squeeze your left glute as you come to the top. Good. Almost there. You have 2 more. Last time through. Up to the top, heels pivot in. Get low in your hips and stand back up. Bend and lift and bend and lift. And remember, you're not simply bending from your knees. You're squeezing your thighs towards each other at the top. Pretend there's magnets on both legs and they're pulling in, right? Feeling that traction. You're here for 4, 3, final 2. One last time. Come to the top, pivot your toes in. Bend your right knee, come down low. Squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Now heel up. 2, 3, and 4. Heel down, pulse. 2, 3, 4. Heel up. 2, 3, and 4. Again, pulse. Pulse. Yes, you can. Heel lift. 2, 3. One more time. Pulse. Pulse. Good. Now heel lift, 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 and a hold. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Get an inch lower. Full body inhale. Full body exhale. 1 inch lower. 4, 3. Final 2. Heels come down. Stand back up. Bend your left knee. And find that little pulse for 4, 3, 2. Hold it low. Heel lift, lower, lift, lower. 2 more like that. All right. Pulse. 2, 3, 4. Heel 4, 3, 2. Again, heel down. Pulse, pulse. Little squeezes. Heel lifts. 2, 3, and 4. Pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel. 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Take a breath. Exhale. Get an inch lower. Keep that right knee soft. Full body inhale. Full body exhale, 1 inch lower. 4, 3, final 2. You got it, heels down. Stand up, heels come in, bend your knees. Get down low and lift. Get down low and lift. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Just do 4, 3, final 2. One more. All right, come to the top. If you have a stool or you're making your way to a countertop, do it. Put your right side next to your balancing apparatus. Right fingertips can be on it. It's there for balance, not to support your weight, right? So you're not leaning into it here. Step your feet about hip width distance apart. Feet are parallel. Now, keeping your shoulders over your hips, I want you to bend your knees. So you're not coming forward with your chest like you naturally want to here. Your knees are going to slide over your toes. You get as low as you can before it feels like you have to lift your heels up. That's going to be your lowest point, and now pop your heels up. All right, now slowly come back to the top. All right, remember that lowest point. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. It's 4 counts down. 4, 3, 2, pause at the bottom. Your pelvis is scooped underneath you. Your tailbone is down, not sticking out behind you. Your shoulders are over your hips, not leaning forward. Heels in line with toes, in line with knees. Everything lines up to keep your body safe. If you feel like your heels are moving all around, bring them a little closer to the floor. All right, 4 counts back to the top. Here you go. It's 4, 3, final 2. You're at the top. Heels stay lifted. Again, bring it down. 2, 3, 4. Lift it up for 4, 3, final 2. You're at the top. Do it again. Bring it down. 2, 3, and 4. Lift it up for 4, 3, last 2. One more time, just like that. Bring it down. 2, 3, and 4. Lift it up. 4, 3, 2. All right, now set the heels down to the ground. Calf raise. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Keep your knees just a little bit soft. Straight up and down. Pelvis stays scooped. And as you lift, once again, you're not going to the highest point you can be on the ball bones of your feet. You're going just below it. So that muscle is doing the work here, not bones. Just do 4, 3, 2. Hold this one up. Hold it up. All right, now bring it down to that 4, right? So your lowest point that you got. Your knees, they're staying in line with your hips. They're not opening here. Keep it controlled by squeezing the muscles in your legs. Now set the heels down to the floor. Then lift them up. Heels come down and lift, down and lift. Good. So your pelvis stays scooped. Your hips aren't moving here. Your knees are pushing further forward rather than your whole body coming up and down with the movement. You isolate. That isolation feels pretty horribly hard, right? That's the idea. I want your legs to get burnt out here. I want them to get shaky. I want them to feel like they're turning to jello. That's how you grow stronger. Keep the crown of your head reaching high. That means your chin is slightly lifted. You're here for 4, 3, 2. All right, keep the heels lifted. Come back to the top. Calf raise, heels down and lift, down and lift. Good. Make those calves nice and tired. You have 4, 3, 2. One more. All right, slide your feet back together to touch, and then pivot just your toes out. This is first position. Bend your knees, still like you're sliding your back down a wall, right? Shoulders over hips, knees press back, pelvis stays scooped. Stand up, squeeze your thighs in towards each other, then bend, squeeze to the top, bend, and squeeze to the top. This is called demi-plie. Your heels stay grounded. You're pressing, like you're pressing into the floor as you stand. Those magnets are still on your legs, squeezing them in nice and tight. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Hold it low, hold it whole. Lift your heels up, then set them down. Heels lift, and lower. Yes, I know, it's all about calves today. Keep the pelvis scooped. Let those knees push just a little further out with each lift. Deep breath in, slow breath out. There's only 4, 3, heels stay up in 2. Lift the heels up, slide them together so that they touch, and actively push them together. Keep your pelvis scooped. From right here, come down 1 inch, then up an inch, down an inch, and up an inch. It's small, it's controlled. The harder you press your heels together, the better it is. I mean, it doesn't feel better right now, but it's better for your body. You're gonna get stronger, right? You can even try for a moment relaxing the heels and see what happens, see how much it changes in your body. Then you'll know why I say to squeeze them together. 8, 7, 6, and 5. You got it. 4, 3, 2. All right, now squeeze your knees towards each other, right? They're not gonna touch, but they come in just a little, then relax. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. Inner thighs, hip flexors, squeeze and squeeze. Keep driving those heels in. Lift your chest, but try relaxing your shoulders. You got it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, heels come down, stand up. You can pivot around. Your left side is now facing your balancing apparatus. Keep that first position that we just had in your feet. Heels in, toes out. Find the calf raise here. Heels lift and lower, lift and lower. Something as small as the positioning of your feet can completely change an exercise. So now you're just getting a different angle of your calves. You might start to feel it in your Achilles or around your Achilles a little more. Maybe your feet feel a little more engaged. That's good. That's the idea. You got this. There's 4, 3, 2. Heels stay up. Now, heels connect. It's 4 counts down, 4 counts up. Try to keep the heels lifted. Take a breath. Let it go. You're down for 4, 3, final 2. Nice job. To the top. Here's 4, 3, final 2. Squeeze your legs together, tight as you can at the top. Again, down, 2, 3, 4. Lift it up for 4, 3, final 2. Again, you got it. Bring it down. Bring it up. One last time. You got it. Down, 2, 3, 4. And you lift. So good. Let your legs get shaky. Squeeze it as hard as you can at the top. Last time through. Heels down and lift. Down and lift. Just the calf raise. Yes, you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful job. Heels come down. From here, you can step your feet out nice and wide. Second position. Heels in, toes out. Bend your knees and lift. Bend your knees and lift. Press the knees back as they bend. Good. By keeping your heels firmly pressed down now, when you press the knees back and you bend, you start to feel a little stretch, a little opening. 2 more. Last one. All right, step your feet together at the top. We're gonna go down to the floor for just a few moments before we stretch. Bring your arms overhead, breathe in, breathe out, hinge forward, plant your palms, step your feet back to a high plank and hold. Full body inhale, full body exhale. So at the beginning of practice, we warmed up your core, right? We started everything to heat up, to activate, to hold you strong when you're standing up and exercising. Now you're gonna get a little more focused in on your core. Navel in and up, ribs together, breathe in. Breathe out. You're here for 4, 3, final 2, forearm plank. Forearms come down. Interlace your fingers. Elbows directly under your shoulders. Push evenly into your forearms from your elbows through the edge of your hand. Zip your legs together so that your feet touch. Little hip dip, right to left, right to left. Keep your shoulders solid and unmoving. Just the hips. Good. Now, here, I don't want you to do this on your knees. If it doesn't feel good to do the movement, just hold a forearm plank with your feet about hip width distance apart. Skip the movement, but don't try to do it from your knees at this angle. All you're going to do is hurt your lower back. Now, if you're taking those hip dips, try making them a little bigger. Your hip now reaches closer to the mat. Still, shoulders are solid. Keep your gaze towards the top edge of the mat. Good. Find your breath. You're here for 4, 3, knees come down in 2. All right, knees to the ground. I'm in a puppy dog pose for just a moment. Stretch your hips back, give your arms a break. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, bring it forward again. Forearm plank. Now, knees are lifted. Push into your toes. Bring the heels over the ball ends of your feet. And now tap the right knee to the floor. Then left knee, right knee, left knee. Tap and tap. Your shoulders don't move. Your hips don't move. Your tailbone wants to come up in the air. Your hips want to shift side to side. You don't let them. It's solid. When you hold everything solid, your lower abdomen fires up like crazy. And not just that top layer of muscle that you like to see when it gets toned, but the muscles deep within that actively pull everything in. Keep tapping. Keep breathing. So good. Here's 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, both knee taps. Tap down and lift, down and lift. It's a really small movement here. Because your hips are low, there's only a few inches. If your hips were up in the air, it'd be really hard to touch the floor, right? So hips stay low, it's small. Keep pushing forward with your toes. Yes, you can. It's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees come down. Give it a puppy dog stretch. Hips back. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Come forward and crawl all the way through. You're rolling all the way to your back, all the way down. We just have a couple minutes left. All right, now plant your feet solidly on the ground about hip width distance apart. Knees are hip width distance apart. Your pelvis is scooped underneath. Find that same prayer grip with your hands. Palms crossed together, or palms pressed together, thumbs crossed, and you bring your arms overhead. Frame your face with your arms. Keep your pelvis scooped and really press into the soles of your feet. Take a deep breath. Exhale, round up your spine and try to tap the floor in front of you with your fingertips. Roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come overhead. Roll back up. Tap the floor. Unroll to the ground. Roll it up to the top. Go as fast or as slow as you need to go, but inhale as your body opens up. Exhale as it closes. Couple of things here. Feet stay grounded. They're not lifting up. You're going slow. It's not a quick movement because you're not using momentum. If you use momentum to swing yourself up, your core really isn't working much, okay? So it's slow. It's a controlled movement, unrolling and slowly contracting and rolling back up. It's harder, all right? If it feels like you can't roll all the way up, don't worry. It might not even be a strength thing. If your pelvis is not scooped enough, you're gonna get stuck. Remember when we talked about your liver, your wonderful, wonderful liver? It's big, it's about 4 pounds, and it's taking up a whole lot of space underneath behind your ribs. So when you roll up, if your pelvis isn't scooped, you're going to hit your internal organs. By really scooping your pelvis, you're almost creating that drop for the organs to come down a little so you can roll over them. So it might be something as simple as scooping your pelvis. You got it. There's only 4, 3, 2, do it one more time. Then roll all the way back to the floor. Keep your feet as they are, but separate your hands. Extend your fingertips forward, palms face down, and roll just your shoulders up off of the mat. Keep a little tuck to your chin, and find a little pulse forward. So you're pulling your fingertips closer towards the front of your mat. Little squeeze and squeeze. The shoulders never come down. Of course, if you feel a whole lot of strain in your neck, you can place your hands behind your head, but make sure that you're not pulling your head forward and that your head is just pressing into your hands, in which case your gaze will be up. Squeeze and squeeze. Now it's your upper abdomen. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Now hold it up, hold it up. Press your palms towards the ground. Keep your shoulders lifted as high as you can. It's a Pilates move, right? You're pushing down, you're creating resistance with your arms and keeping everything lifted as high as you can in your upper body. Little squeeze and squeeze. This is your last push right here. So just breathe and do it. You're here, put in the work, and then you're stretching, okay? Really push into the soles of your feet. Make that connection stronger. You're pushing so hard and you're scooping your pelvis so much that the backside of your hips might even lift almost a little from the ground. Keep pushing. Pretend like you're moving through water, through wet cement, pushing your palms down, creating that resistance. Maybe you lift your shoulders 1 more inch from the ground. Yes, you can. Stick with it. Maybe you close your eyes. Invite the sensation in. You're not shying away from it. You're not distracting yourself. You are in it. You are feeling every last little bit. You feel the air enter and leave your nose, your mouth. You feel your lungs fight to expand because you are here in this moment. You are actively growing stronger. Don't give up. You're almost there. I promise, for real, you're almost there. It's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find a long body stretch. Bring your shoulders down. Extend your legs out. Point your toes. Find a full breath in and a full breath out. You did beautiful work. Take a couple minutes to stretch with me. It's very important, especially after a class like barre. Bring your knees to your chest and rock a little side to side. And then I want you to find legs up the wall. So push your feet overhead, flex your feet, and push the backside of your knees forward. That might be enough to feel a stretch in your Achilles and in your calves. If you need more, of course, you can bring your legs closer to your body, but only if your hips stay grounded and your knees don't bend. I want you to really fight to keep the length in your legs here. And you really actively pull your toes back towards your shins. Good. Now, keep in the same flexed position in your feet. I want you to find first position in the air. So heels in, toes out. Press the backside of your knees towards each other now. Remember when I said the smallest movement or change of positioning of your feet can entirely change something? Same way for stretches, right? Here, you're going to feel it in a different part of your calf, a different part of your ankle than when your feet are completely together. Keep dragging your heels up. Keep pulling your toes back. Now bring your feet back in so toes connect. And then point your toes. Get that stretch in the front of your foot. Now turn out from your hips. See how it changes. Bring them back in and flex just your toes. So it looks like a Barbie doll foot. Yes, and that usually feels pretty great after all those calf raises that we did. And again, find a turn out from your hip, but keep that Barbie doll foot. Bring it back to the center, flex your feet and circle your ankles, both directions. All right, and then bend your knees, bring them into your chest. Grab the inside or outside edges of your feet and pull your knees as wide as you can for a happy baby. Rock a little side to side. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Now, find stillness in your body. Take your right heel, bring it in towards you. Keep the grip on your feet and kick your left heel out as much as you can. You'll notice that you might tip a little to the side, so now pull the backside of your right hip back to the floor. Hips and lower back are grounded, and you're just kicking that heel out, trying to get into your hamstring a little. Draw the right shoulder a little closer to the mat. Send all of your breath, all of your energy into the belly of that left hamstring. I'm going to switch it up. Bring the left heel in, extend the right leg out. And again, you might notice you tip a little to the side. So bring the backside of your left hip to the ground again. The left shoulder pulls down. Just really working to focus on the length in the right leg and the stretch in your hamstring. All right, and then bring it back in, give it another rock from side to side. From here, extend your legs out, bring your arms overhead, bring over a long body stretch. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. Separate your arms, spread eagle style, right? Just taking up as much space as you can. With your eyes closed, starting at the crown of your head, working your way down to your toes. Release each muscle, each fiber in your body. You let it go. You let it grow heavy. You let it melt into the floor below you. So you can't necessarily tell where your body ends and the floor begins. Yoga means to yoke or to unite. We connect breath and movement. We connect mind and body, also that you can connect to something greater than yourself, that you can find a deeper connection with the world around you. My friends, this is where I'm leaving you today. Spend some time, please, soaking up that beautiful energy you created, giving your body and your mind and your heart and your soul, all of the things, a little time here. So that it is an honor and a pleasure to guide you through practice and to YogaBarre. Thank you.